Your attention, masters, mistresses. All systems functional for the Everything Geek podcast.
Hey, this is Rich McDonald, and I play Commander David Mason on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And you're listening to Everything Geek podcast.
Hey, it's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Plo Koon in Star Wars The Clone Wars, and you're listening to Everything Geek, the podcast.
Hey, it's Leif Gamfert. I played Uncle Ben's killer in The Amazing Spider-Man, and you're listening to the Everything Geek podcast.
Hello, I'm Simon Fisherbecker. You probably know me better as Dorian Moldovar from Doctor Who, or the Fat Friar from Harry Potter. And this is Everything Geek podcast.
Face it, Tiger. You just hit the jackpot with the Everything Geek podcast.
You're listening to the Everything Geek podcast, bringing you interviews from your favorite films and TV shows every week, and all of the latest news. Here's your host, Rory Williamson.
Hello everyone, you're listening to the Everything Geek podcast. I'm your host Rory, and joining me is co-host Graham.
Hello.
And also joining us today is a very special guest. We have actor Stephen Vining, who is best known for playing a food bank water walker, Poke Your Eyes Out Walker, Outside Walker, Half Walker, Terminus Walker, and numerous other walkers in The Walking Dead, District 8 Rebel in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, Miner and Funeral Mourner in Constantine, Creature of the Night in 999, and Terrorist in Halt Catch Fire. So how are you today, Stephen?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the podcast. And I apologise for saying post your eyes out walker instead of poke.
Alright.
Oh well. That was a
job.
yeah. I had one job and I called it the wrong walker. Yeah. Now that actually does give me an idea. How about a postman walker? Now that would be something to see.
We're holding meaning to bicycle walker.
That hasn't happened yet, yeah.
Okay, I've just created a new walker idea. Gregory Nicotero, you better use it.
Take notes, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's a pleasure to have you join us on the podcast, Stephen.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Great. So getting right into the question, Stephen, my first question for you is, how did you decide you wanted to become an actor?
Well, actually, it really wasn't a decision of mine. I had people push me into it. They just suggested that I should try out for it, and I tried out for the Hunger Games, and it just went from there. So it wasn't something that I pursued. It's kind of something that just fell into my lap.
Very nice, very interesting. My second question is, how did you initially get cast as a walker in The Walking Dead? Did you have to go to zombie school?
Yeah, I did have to go to zombie school. It kind of started, I worked on a show called Halt Catch Fire, and that was the same casting department that cast for The Walking Dead. And when I did that show, they asked me if I would come out to zombie school, and I said, yeah. And it was really crazy because it was coming down to it, and I thought I wasn't going to get invited. And then the email finally came through, and yeah, I went to zombie school, and just, yeah, I went, I think it was last April, and it's just, this was my first season on The Walking Dead, and it's been just a ride since then.
Yeah, definitely, and you've been in most of the season 5 episodes, I believe. I think all except episode 3, maybe?
Yeah, I think 3, and there's a couple towards the end of the season that I wasn't in as well, but I was used quite a bit this season. I lucked out with that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very nice that you've kind of become one of the regular walker actors, I guess, in season 5, because you're in most of the episodes.
Yeah, I think the makeup guys just, they like my bone structure. And I'm skinny, I'm really skinny, and it's easy to make me into a bunch of different things. So I think that's more the reason why that happened. But I mean, I'm fortunate for it to have happened that way.
Definitely, of course. My third question is, of all the walkers you have played on The Walking Dead so far, which took the longest to have the makeup put on for?
Oh man, probably probably the Water Walker, just because it was pretty much makeup from my midsection all the way up, my arms, my full back piece. We had the jaws, these huge sacks that weighed like, I was 5 pounds each. So that day I had like a good 15 or 20 pounds just hanging. And I think that took a little over 3 hours to do that.
Wow, I actually thought it would have taken longer, actually. Like, there's so much to that particular walker. Like, I remember when I first saw in the trailer, I was like, that walker is so distinctive. Like, no, I could remember its face so clearly from the trailer. I was just like, wow, that's a walker to watch out for. Yeah, it's very impressive.
All the walkers that in that scene, they were. It was amazing. There were at least 8 of us, and every makeup was so detailed. I can't remember the exact name, but the girl who had the glasses and she's coming at Father Gabriel, the makeup on her as well. Like it's so intricate. They're very talented people.
Definitely. I mean, I feel personally that some of those walkers in particular were probably some of the best makeup work that Gregory Nicotero and some of his team have done on the show for the walkers. Like, they were really impressive.
Oh, they were definitely pushing the boundaries with it. The day we filmed, we had to hide it. We were all under these robes, walking around all day just on set, so no one could see those makeups. So they wanted them to be a surprise for sure.
Jedi.
And they were Jedi robes. Yeah, that is pretty impressive though. And like I said, I was actually a bit surprised it was only 3 hours. Like, I would actually expected maybe 5, 6. That would have been quite a bit longer.
Oh, they're rapid fast. I mean, they've been doing it so long. I mean, yeah, you have to imagine they're 5 seasons in. A lot of them have been doing this for their entire careers, so it's for them as much as very artistic and unique every time. They're so in the zone of doing it. It's amazing to watch how fast they process you through that.
Definitely, that sounds great. My 4th question is, can you describe the makeup process for a walker on The Walking Dead from your perspective?
Well, wake up early. You're going to have to wake up early. A lot of call times are, you're going to have to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, sit in a chair. It's a lot of patience, we listen to music, we talk, we have random conversations. There's always something going on, anything to keep you entertained in that moment, because it's a long process, so it requires patience. But I mean, that's really it. You're there. It's a job, and you just have to sit there and be patient, watch it unfold. I really like watching the process of the makeup artists start, and sometimes they have a basic idea of where they're going, and to just see them pick and choose how they want to bring out certain features in a makeup, it's pretty cool to watch.
Definitely, that sounds really great. My 5th question is, which are your favourites out of the walkers you have played so far? Because you've played quite a number.
Well, favorite. I really like the day we filmed for the Insides Out Outside Walker. That day was just really fun filming. It was a really quick scene, but the director was really, really nice. All the actors there that day it was just a really fun day, but that makeup, it brought out a different walk. I'll try to do different walks for each walker that I do, but that one brought out a very unique thing that I don't do very often. It was kind of contortionist in a way, and I enjoyed that one. So that was probably my favorite one to bring alive so far.
That's very interesting. My final question is, do you have any upcoming acting roles or any other projects you would like to talk about?
Right now, I'm working on an independent project. It's unnamed right now. It's untitled. It's in a development process, but other than that, I'm still just doing work. Makeup works. I do modeling for makeup and or prosthetics, and I enjoy doing that a lot. But yeah, right now that's pretty much it. Hopefully, I will be able to announce the full project of what I'm working on here in the next month. And but yeah, that's really all I have going on right now. Just kind of waiting for season 6 to roll back around and get back at it. And I'm looking to get into more horror movies and Superformance and things like that.
Definitely. Well, hopefully you get into season 6 and some horror movies. It would be really great to see you in both.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and we'll keep an eye out for all of the other projects you mentioned as well. So thank you very much, Stephen, for answering all of my questions. I'll let my co-host Graham ask his now.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. So jumping right in, I was wondering, would you have counted yourself as a fan of the source material, like Walking Dead and Constantine, before working on them?
The Walking Dead, absolutely. When the comic first came out, I was collecting it. I had issues 1 through up till about 40 before I stopped collecting them. So the Walking Dead early parts, the early material, I was very much a fan of. And it's not that I fell out of being a fan. It's I'd stopped collecting comic books. But Constantine, I never really read. I saw the movie that was made after it, but I never got into those comic books.
That's fair enough. But as for the Walking Dead, would you say that that it's relatively accurate in terms of from pages to screen?
I would say it's probably 50-50. With most things like that, when you turn a story into something, people always want to make it their own a little bit. So it's going to change a little bit, but I would say the heart of it, definitely what the comic book is trying to get across to you is very much present in the television show. There might be some scenario differences, but I think they try to find a way to keep that same feel that is there in the comic.
Well, what was the atmosphere like when you were working on The Walking Dead? Was it very eerie and kind of spooky, or was it sort of fun, energetic?
For me, it's usually more fun and energetic. The crew on The Walking Dead is probably the best crew to work with, hands down, in Atlanta. On every film or television show I've worked on, I haven't had as much or any more fun than I've had on The Walking Dead. And they're all very nice, very genuine, and open people. And everybody's there having fun. And there have been some scenes, one especially that I can't get too much into because it hasn't aired yet, but pretty dark. And so I can say, yeah, there's been times where I've been around some scenes being shot that it's, I wouldn't say eerie, but dark, definitely dark.
Awesome. I'm as an actor myself, I'm very interested in other people's sort of methods in actually getting into character. So I was wondering, do you have any particular methods about just getting into character in general? It's like in terms of like the walkers, let's say, do you imagine where that person was before they were bit, etc.?
Yeah, sometimes. A lot of times that really helps me out with wardrobe. Sometimes I've done some scenes in The Walking Dead where it's more of, I'm a part of a herd and, the wardrobe is less noticeable. You'll stand out less. So with those, it's more just I'm a part of a herd, With the features and where the wardrobe stands out, like the Grimsdyke tribute that was just in the last episode. They do such a good job on wardrobe that you almost as an actor can't help but to step into that character a little bit. And as far as playing the walkers, for me, I definitely have to. I can be an introspective person at times. So when you step up there and there's hundreds of people around watching you do a scene, and you have to be a zombie, or a walker, you have to eat these people, and that's what's in your mind. And I think definitely at some point I have to turn off in my mind the awareness of what is around me, and you have to be that, at least for those moments, and it's a fun process, but I think it's turning off everything around you and just allowing yourself to be whatever it is, whatever part it is, and be that for those moments.
And would you say it's more like with the walkers, it's more of an animalistic approach towards the acting?
Yeah, I think it's in some ways it's primal. Your motivation is to eat, and so when you think of that, you're gonna act in a way that you're desperately trying to eat, and that is animalistic. And at sometimes though, you also have to be very aware of loose body movement. You don't want to come across too uptight or
stiff.
Yeah, too stiff, too rigid. So you have to be aware of your movements to some degree. But I think it's animalistic to a point. Absolutely.
You can't be a stiff.
Exactly. You have to be loose.
As a fan of Justice League Dark and just Constantine in general, what was it like to interact with the cast as a whole? Did they kind of keep to themselves, or were you more interacting with everyone who was there?
On Constantine, there were only a few principal actors on set that day, the main ones, and yeah, they're very nice. I can't say I've been on any set as far as the Hunger Games or The Walking Dead where I've had a problem with someone being a jerk. Everybody's very nice, and I think people in Atlanta, film here is very new. It's only been in the past couple of years that so much has started to take off being filmed here, and so I think everybody is. It's new and it's fun, and so when they come out here and they're making these shows, we're all just having fun. And I think like with Constantine, we sat around and ate pizza with him after the scenes, and hung out in a little theater in downtown. I think it was Conyers or Covington. It's very nice. Everybody's very nice.
Awesome. That's always nice to hear when like you can actually just interact with people so well that you can almost like you just like actually just have friends for the days that you're actually doing a shoot. So it's very interesting to hear stuff like that. It's very kind of heartwarming to hear that people interact so well in essentially a work environment.
Oh yeah, I mean it can be competitive too, and it's a highly competitive industry, but I think when you get there and everybody's around each other, you kind of drop that. We're all there for the same reasons, and you're there trying to do the same thing and accomplish the same thing. And it's if you're not having fun acting or being out there, then I don't know why you're there. So make the best of it.
Awesome. Well, as my final question, I always ask this to some of our zombie-related guests, let's say. So if the zombie apocalypse were to actually happen, what would be your zombie contingency plan? Like, what would you do first thing?
Oh, wow. I honestly probably would head to the mountains somewhere. I would try to get as rural as possible and as high up as possible, because for some reason I feel like the higher elevation, the safer I would be. I would head for mountains.
Awesome. Well, I think that's the end of my questions.
So that's all of our questions for you, Stephen. It's been a pleasure talking to you on the podcast.
Oh no, thank you for inviting me. I've enjoyed it. I really appreciate it, and anytime.
Hopefully we can talk to you again at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
Talk to you soon then. Bye, and thanks again for joining us.
All right, thank you.
Check out our website.everythinggeekpodcast.com/EGP. Check out our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/everythinggeekpodcast. Check out our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/user/everythinggeekcast. Check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/everythinggeekp. Check us out on Instagram, instagram.com/official-everythinggeekpodcast. Check out our Mixcloud profile, www.mixcloud.com/everythinggeekpodcast. Email us at the following email, everythinggeekpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our companion podcast, Everything Geek Comiccast, www.facebook.com/everythinggeekcomiccast. Make sure to check out the hosts' YouTube channels. Mine is www.youtube.com/user/Sepidus Check out Graham's publications, www.wattpad.com/user/Graham Kavanagh. Check out Stephen Vining's Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Svefilant. And check out Channel 138 where we broadcast live from, www.channel138.com. So geeks out, everyone.
Immediately recognize, not to say that was like my favorite day on set or my favorite scene to shoot specifically, but as far as the walkers that I've portrayed, it's kind of hard to beat that. I mean, I haven't had any
very similar. I was already in the ECA's casting database, so they called me, then they said, you fit the description we want, and I was on vacation in Virginia, and I postponed part of my vacation to come down here